And take this plus-sized influencer.
No one should have to endure the discomfort, embarrassment, and discrimination that often comes with being a plus-size passenger trying to navigate air travel. By signing this petition, you can help us demand that airlines take concrete steps to make air travel more inclusive and accommodating for all passengers. Whether you're plus-size or not, everybody deserves to be treated with dignity and respect when they fly. Let's work together to make sure that the travel industry serves everyone, not just a select few.
Well, Jaylene Cheney made global headlines this weekend after claiming fat people are entitled to extra seats on planes because they're so fat. She said all plus-sized passengers should be provided with an extra free seat or even 2 or 3 seats depending on their size to accommodate their needs and ensure their comfort during the flight. Well, look, Jaylene, you can have your extra seat, you can have 10 extra seats, but you've got to pay for them. Why should you be entitled to special treatment, raising the cost of travel for everybody else because you're obese? Maximum self-entitlement, 0 self-accountability.
So you've invited me to speak here, and I'm being heckled nonstop. And I'm just asking for an administrator to sign what
That's an administrator.
Your racism is showing.
Wait,
Respect black women.
if you want a marketplace of ideas, you have gotten what you wanted, take it.
Those are students at Stanford University, one of the top universities in the world, where students are so high on the fumes of their own self-importance, they felt entitled to heckle a visiting judge because they didn't like his politics. The scourge of limitless entitlement takes us down avenues of limitless insanity. It means we have honest jobs we can't fill, but a generation of wastrels who want to be paid for posting photographs of their lunch. It leads to the ludicrous race-baiting idea that every white person should pay compensation to every black person because of the evils of history. It means we give out medals to kids who come last just because they tried. And the parents of those children then demand they're awarded better grades, literally just because they're paid to be there. Unfortunately, in the cost of living crisis, there's a surfeit of these people who think the world owes them a favour. But fortunately, the rest of us are also entitled to call them out for it. Well, joining me now is the Associate Editor of the Daily Mirror, Kevin Maguire, and Talk TV contributor Esther Crackwood. I'm not sure, but I think I might have started that in my jet-lagged haze, Kevin, with a slightly wrong analogy. I think I said the age of entitlement twice. Of course, I was meant to say the age of enlightenment has now become the age of entitlement. How's it got like this?
Yeah, I'm not sure it entirely has, though, Piers. I think we make progress because one generation challenges the one ahead of them. That's how it is. Now, they don't always get it right, but I'm with those girls in that school. They challenged the teacher. She lost the classroom. They wanted the teacher to address them in
They're
a
at a
different
girls'
way.
school, Kevin.
But one of them wasn't identified
Literally,
as...
their parents have said, we want to send our little girl to a girls' school which is called a girls' school.
Yeah,
and then when a teacher has the audacity to call them girls, they go nuts. And the teacher then eventually has to leave.
Piers, they challenged the teacher. The teacher stands on her authority and says, no, I'm doing it my way. If that teacher had spoken to them, had a dialogue, understood it, look, one of them wasn't identifying as a girl. I just don't see what the big problem is. I genuinely do not see what the problem is.
If you don't, here's what the problem is. If you don't identify as a girl, don't go to a bloody girls' school. Esther, have I got nuts?
But what if one of them identified as a tree? Would you say hello, I don't know, flora and fauna?
Well, before I went away, I identified as
I went to a girls' school.
I identified as a black lesbian, as you know, Esther, and your cackle went around the world.
Don't set her off again.
But this is the problem. If anyone can identify as anything they like, then this insanity just goes everywhere.
Oh, of course. But I think the bigger message that's being sent out here is that the children are ruling the classrooms, which should never be the case. And there's no point of them going to school, because part of going to school is learning discipline and respect for authority. How can you possibly bully a teacher into apologising for calling you a girl?
I'm a great believer in good discipline in schools, but that does not mean...
No, you're not. You're a great believer in... No. You're a great believer in a teacher calling girls girls, and then you think they have the right to launch some kind of protest.
It's how you set the rules and how you then govern that school.
Kevin,
I think
I've known you a long time. You don't believe this.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
You don't think a bunch of girls in a girls' school should have the right to drive a teacher out for calling them girls?
No, I'm sorry the teacher has gone, but believe the teachers handled it as well as they
She said,
should
"Good
have done."
afternoon, girls."
And if it's then challenged and the kids are explaining why they think they shouldn't be
The
addressed
school
that way,
is
you can
literally
accommodate them.
called
I just-
School for
I
Girls.
do not see what the problem is. This is not the same as putting a biological man who is a rapist in only a way a man can in a Scottish prison. It's not that case. And what happens
Sorry,
now,
you're getting
everything
the
gets-
clip. I can't do any more of that one. This is just driving me too mad. Can we at least agree about free seats for fat flyers, Esther? The idea that the more obese you get, the fatter you become, the more free seats you're entitled to on a plane. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the lady in the video who was saying it, she was probably the size of the plane that she wanted to fly. Look, the reality is, we've always seen, debates online about whether, if you need a seatbelt extension, you should really buy 2 seats because you're spilling over into the other person's seat. And airplanes are designed to basically tin you like sardines, right? So the idea that someone else should pay for the fact that she's obese is quite frankly ludicrous.